Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. The LX470. Paint's coming along nicely. Everything's coming along nicely, to tell you the truth. We're going to concentrate on the headlights today. We have some slight oxidation and some signs of the plastic cracking. Let's get them cleaned up and protected properly so they can be enjoyed and be safe for the next driver for years to come. The earlier years on the 470, plastic. And they are, from this line up, they are starting to slightly oxidize. Now is the best time to stop that. Reverse it, protect it, and prevent the lens from failing completely. And that's what we're going to do today. I'll show you on one side here. Well, the very first thing, obviously, is going to be a wash and decon on the whole vehicle. Make sure you get everything clean in and around here because the protection is going to call for clean seams and edges. After that, you can, if you want to, protect the edges around the plastic . Can keep things clean, can keep you from accidentally getting up against the paint. It's up to you, but I would recommend. Be quick about it. You don't have to tape it like you're painting the vehicle. Something like that would do perfectly fine. Now, next step. We're going to grab a 3-inch polisher and attach a 2000 grit Trizac disc or something similar to the Trizac. You can have these either soaking in water or just spray them with water. Douse them down a little bit. The outer coating from factory hasn't failed completely. It's just a little bit of oxidation from the sun from here on up. No need to go crazy and remove that whole layer. We just want to clean things up a bit before protection. Now that's just this instance. Every headlight, every situation is a little bit different. Should do the trick. I'm going to remove any residue left behind, and this is going to get messy, so you may have to wash the vehicle again when you're finished. It's going to run down, it's going to splatter all over the place, and this just leaves behind a lightly hazed headlight lens. We're just going to polish out a little bit. We're not going to do a fine finishing polish. We're just going to do a harsh compound and leave it a little bit hazed over for the next step so the protection grabs onto that plastic lens. For the next step, we just took the disc off, put on a cutting pad. Sonax Ultimate Cut. This will help to clean things up a little bit further. That is all we're going to have to do there with that step. Let's wipe off the residue. And use the panel prep. Remove any polishing oils, if you're not wearing gloves and you touch it, it'll remove fingerprints, body oils. If you bump against it, and this is where we want it at this point. The next thing we're going to do is remove that masking tape. We're going to take the panel prep, get the nozzle in there, and use the pressure of the nozzle to blow out any light polishing dust that could have gotten in there, or maybe any residue from the tape. Another thing you can do is pop the hood. That'll get it away from the top of the headlight. You can either just pop it and leave it like that, or you can put it all the way up. That's completely up to you. You're going to have a seal or a piece of trim here anyways. But with the hood open, now we can get a deeper clean. All right, beautiful. Now, yes, you might have guessed it, the proper way to protect headlights long term is going to be with paint protection film. You can either buy the kits that are pre-cut. You can pre-cut them if you have a plotter, or I just use scraps. I put scraps to use that were left over from a larger piece. That works there. We have our sheet in hand. This is a slip solution. This is water with a couple drops of a surfactant, so it makes it, a little sudsy, a little slippery, not a whole lot. You can see right there. And what that does is that creates a film of water that this sheet can float around on until I have it positioned where I want it to be. Quite different than a dry install for other plastics and vinyls used on vehicles. Once we have it on there, and I have this whole area completely covered, I'm going to spray the outside of the PPF, the sheet, because we're going to be squeegeeing it, and we want that slickness to be out there so the squeegee doesn't cut into the film, if that makes sense. We have it on there, we have it centered, and if you need to move it, and it does catch a dry area like right there, just lift it up instead of trying to slide it. And then you can slide it into place. We're going to pick one edge or one side of the light here. I'm going to pick this side. And we're going to bring in our second solution, which is a mild alcohol, isopropyl alcohol mix. We have more bottles filled with just water than alcohol, and we use just water to flush the slip solution on painted panels. On headlights, it doesn't really matter so much, and I'd like to have a nice tack so I can really pull. So all we do is spray at the end there, come in with our squeegee, the end here, all of the slip solution and moisture you want to squeegee out or up, completely up to you, or down, whatever floats your boat. You can also tack it here so when you pull there are no stretch marks on the headlight piece of film. I'm not going to need to pull it really hard, but if I needed to really stretch, I probably would have tacked it right there instead of where I did there. All right, for the other side, a little bit of the tack solution there. And we're going to come all the way across with our squeegee now and draw out all of that moisture. Squeegee it completely dry so the adhesive is then making contact with the plastic lens. Squeegee the moisture up and around the edge of the lens. Give yourself a little slack so it can tuck in there. tack it up here so it doesn't fold back down again. No moisture whatsoever. So what we do next is simple. We just let it dry enough so these edges start to tack and I could do my trimming without the piece shifting. So we'll be back. While we're waiting, we did have an early Christmas present come in. The hub center cap covers did come in. Let's inspect them closely. It is finally the right finish. You know, it's not chrome. It may be brighter because it's a brand new piece, but everything is lined up. The tabs aren't broken. Make yourself flip it around a couple times, give it a close inspection, check all of them, and we'll snap it on the wheel. Not the easiest things to get on there. Got to line it up perfectly. Maybe the help of a little bit of prying on the tabs to get it in there. Maybe a rubber mallet to help tap it on. Got my knee pads because the cement is hard and cold today. And yeah, I'm so happy these came in. I could not stand looking at the rusted center hubcaps anymore. So after a few futile moments of fighting with this thing, we will get it on. Finally, I guess made to go on hard so it doesn't come off easily, just hitting a bump. That would be very irritating, but looks so much better. What do you guys think? Right, I like it. All right, let's get back to work on the headlights. This piece has had ample time to dry, especially on the edges. So now it's time to do a little surgery. And these are the Dot Cutter Pros, red dot. And they are fantastic and recommended for paint protection film. And they have a specific blade at the perfect angle for film as well. And what we want to do is trim the edges, the outer edge, all the way around this headlight carefully without going through the film into the plastic. We do not want to cut the plastic headlight. So this takes a little bit of practice. That's why those of you that want to try this at home, just order the kit, the pre-made, pre-cut kit off of like Amazon or something. So when you're cutting film, you want to start at an edge. We'll start up here. And hope I don't get in the way while I'm trying to see what the hell I'm doing here. You want to have the knife as flat as possible, and you will eventually learn the pressure. As you're cutting down through, you want to hear the squeaking, like a squeaking of a mouse. And that means you are scoring the top of the film, but not going down through into the adhesive layer and down through into the headlight, if that makes sense. And we'll take it down to that corner there. Now, we want to come, make sure all the moisture is out, all the way across, right at the edge, but not sticking out over the edge. Again, I apologize if I'm getting in the way, but I really have to have the angle to see what the hell I'm doing. And I don't know if you can hear that, but got that squeaking sound going. Come up, make that corner, come up top, right here. And let's cut that PPF all the way down through the outer edge of the headlight. There we go. At this point, all we need to do is have the squeegee nearby. A lot of people like to just put it in their mouth. It spreads a lot of germs, so try not to do that. I either have a pouch or a pocket, but now it's time to carefully pull away what you have trimmed, get it away from the sheet that is adhered to the headlight. All right. Grab our squeegee. Make sure there's no moisture at the edge where we've been pulling and tugging, pulling the film back away from the headlight a little bit. That's no problem. We're just going to push it back down and it will stay. Now I'll grab a towel and just gently wipe away any excess moisture around the edges. And that is it. It took a couple minutes. Now I'm going to take care of the rest of these lights. They're all going to be done the exact same way. I'll do that on my own time. But I wanted to stop and get footage and share how simple and easy it is. Now, the micro cracks that a lot of these plastic headlights have from the heat and the sun, they will be there, but it will be crystal clear for years to come. Not the perfect end-all be-all protection. There is nothing out there that will be. Don't let anybody shit you, but this is the best way to protect your headlights, period. When it's done right, nobody walking by will even know these headlights have protection on them. Looks great. Guys, that will do it for this video. Short video because in this particular vehicle, not a whole heck of a lot had to be done to clean them up before protection. Sometimes you get those headlights that are, the outside factory coating has completely failed and there's a little bit of work involved that you would have to sand completely that failed layer off of there, and that can really slow you down. Not in this case. This will be a quick job. We still have a lot of work on this thing inside and out, so there should be plenty more videos coming for this. I do have a few people waiting for this to be done because they're interested in purchasing it. So I'm going to do my best. Like I said, I want to make sure it's safe. I want to make sure it looks absolutely fantastic. I want to make sure when they get it, all they have to do is worry about enjoying it. And isn't that a great thing to think about? I'll catch you in the next video, guys.